We are gathered here today to remember the runtime of my alter ego and his show that he called My Review Series. It kind of popped up out of nowhere and helped him get enough credits to graduate. Thank you once again, Alex. Its run was cut off when Ryan promised to make a wedding video and Frogman couldn't come out until it was finished. And unfortunately, it shared the same fate as many other projects like, oh my god. We won't go into any more detail about that. There's enough sadness in the world, enough as it is. Let's just take the vest that he revolved his entire personality around and bury this series along with it. Unfortunately, he never saw Thanksgiving or the release of the Bluey video game. Oh my god! As it turns out, hell is already full of gamers. Hello there, Frogman, better known as Ryan, also known as the guy who struggled for 6 months on one wedding video, only to turn around and put this one out in under a week. Also known as Priorities. Anybody who's seen this series and has paid unnecessarily close attention knows that I'm an enjoyer of this show. Now you may be asking, if this is a show geared for small children and I have no children to care for or watch over, why am I such a big fan of this show? Well, let me ignore that question with another question. Why did it take me 3 game stores to find one physical copy?
Shut up, it's happening.
Oh, fuck! Bluey the video game came out on November 17th of 2023, though you'd be forgiven for thinking it wasn't available due to it disappearing from the store shelves. Not a point against it, I just find it funny how everyone said they wanted a remake of Mario RPG, but then both these games came out at the same day and I could tile my roof with the amount of RPG games I could see. Like, for God's sakes, the Target I got this from was out of PS5 versions of the game. Who is using their PS5 to play this game? Perfect! I've got the ultimate gaming computer known to man. I can play any game without losing any frames. The game starts out with its very fun and very copyrighted intro, meaning everybody you watch play this game is going to be sour for not making money. You begin the experience by selecting your character. Yes, that's right, you can officially put top-ranked bingo main on your Facebook profile. It's also here where the game reveals itself as a 4-player co-op game, fun for the whole family. Provided you're in a 4-person family and have the knowledge and money to buy enough controllers for everybody. And while we're on the topic, aren't controllers stupid expensive? The Switch Pro controllers are $70 each, and you expect every family member to have enough so everyone can play? It's not really an issue for the game, and really not a problem for me because I'm what many call a financial liability. Grab your family, pick your favorite characters, and off you go into the game. Bluey and Bingo are waking their parents up at the crack of dawn to get started on their holiday. But first they're told they've got to clean their toys. This begins the first episode of the game. Yes, in keeping with the idea of playing in the show, every section of the game is split into contained sections that act like their own episodes, with the overarching theme acting as the game's main story. But we'll get to that soon, because now we've got to act as a family and clean up the house. Oh, press B to kick things. Kick Dad.
Where's Bingo?
She's trying to escape.
No. You're bad.
We can fuck up the whole place.
Oh, I picked up a pillow.
Get out of here.
I'm floating.
Oh my god. Mom, what are you doing?
Yeah,
My
what are we
kick
gonna
is
fly?
so high.
Hi, I'm Dad.
After fumbling your way into cleaning up, Bingo and Bluey find a spare balloon that they convinced their mom to play keepy-uppy with. Yeah! This starts a minigame section where you can play a game to gain stars depending on how well you play. It's fun and a cute little way to contextualize any random games the kids might play. Chili and Bandit are S tiers in keepy-uppy! Dude! I can't reach it!
That seems like a skill
Really
issue.
not fair.
On the tier list of Keepy Uppy, Chili and Bandit are at the top. I wouldn't expect the developers to think of a way to balance out the adult and child characters, since any adult would most likely know when to back off for the kids. But if you're playing with someone who doesn't understand that, or that guy who gets a thrill from dunking on their kids playing a game, then things might get problematic. But in all honesty, it's very true to the show to have something like that. The balloon flies away and we track it down to its inexplicable path from the kitchen to the spare room across the house. How did it do that? How did it get carried by the wind through the hallways and on top of this pile? I guess this is the obligatory section where I point out how f***ing huge the healer house is. It's easier to ignore in the show with its non-specific locations and changing layout, but now that it's in a 3D environment with a distinct layout, we're just left here to wonder how this world works where a family of 4 can afford a house like this.
Dude, it's a world of talking dogs. Clearly it's better than ours.
That's a fair point. Some block moving and bingo destruction, we stumble upon a torn piece of paper that Bandit recognizes as a map piece he made with his brothers when he was a kid. And with that, we have our through line for the game itself and the episode ends. You're allowed to explore the house and play.
Keepy uppy.
No? Okay.
Let's play. Keepy uppy.
You can play.
No. Why can't
Let's
anybody
play.
do that?
You can play Keepy Uppy whenever you want! There's no point to doing this other than gaining stars to unlock new hats, and I appreciate how any character can use any hat, and I also love how using specific hats with specific characters will play a special voice line for them.
I'm the evil witch.
That's just really fun. The next episode involves us trying to find Uncle Stripe to get his part of the map. We learn about getting on the shoulders of the adults so the kids can see farther, although it really only shows us it's possible as the actual action is carried out in a cutscene. And we also find Muffin and Stripe who are on the playground towards the direction we came from. Don't think about it. Walk up to them and Muffin insists that we play Floor is Lava with them as well as playing Dress Up. And because Muffin cannot be swayed, we're the ones that have to go and get their stuff to play with. This gives us the players a chance to practice the Floor is Lava game using the hats as checkpoints.
It automatically routes you back to the.
Because you're
Oh no, I died.
Good one, girls. Let's head back to play with Muffin.
Success can vary. Eventually, we get the hats, don what we want to wear, and complete the game, getting our reward of a map piece from Stripe and the ability to play Floor's Lava wherever available. Next up is Satan. Chattermax. Bluey and Bingo are waiting for Rad while gathering pillows for Geki to fall on, blocking the door so nobody can go through.
Sure.
So we gotta go around the long way. We go where he's supposed to be, and oh my god, why are there so many sprinklers in this walkway? Rad can't come to us because he doesn't want to ruin his hair. How upstanding. So it's up to us to run through and shut off the water. And let me be the first to say that this section is definitely easier with less people.
And then you pulled me back.
Wait.
I was safe.
All of us went to college. After surviving the gauntlet of sprinklers, Rad gives the girls their Christmas present about 4 months late.
Legally, I'm not allowed to make fun of that.
It's revealed the gift is a new model of Chattermax.
Oh, great.
Have I mentioned the parents don't like this toy? This section is dedicated to satiating the dumb toy's needs to be fed by specific things, ranging from healthy things, squeaky things, and pretty things. And shoved inside this section is a rather rushed tutorial on watering plants to make them grow. Remember this. After we fed the dumb thing 3 times, Chili tells the kids to put it away, but the spawn of the devil has other plans. It steals the map piece from Rad and bolts to the other room, ascending stairs and giving the kitchen a good solid thrashing as the healers give chase. Eventually, the toy is tracked down to the living room and Rad gets absolutely mangled by the toy. One more minigame later and the dumb bird thing is successfully wrangled and imprisoned. Don't ask how they retrieved the wallet after Chattermax ate it. With the final map piece in hand, Bandit can deduce where the treasure is buried and the episode ends. The next episode has Chili's dad Mort over for some reason. I guess he's a good target to practice magic xylophone on when the girls become too much for Bandit himself to handle. He's also responsible for guiding us to collect different items for the trip, like bug spray, garbage bags, and a shovel. Grandpa, are we hiding a body? We travel to the creek and Mort takes the lead, despite not knowing where to go? Weird. We encounter a river that's too deep to cross, and we have to jump on some rocks to stay safe.
Yes.
Well done, everyone. Let's to next?
Success may vary. We meet Mort at a spot that's been polluted, and we stop to restore the area. Now, I don't want to put on my conspiracy hat, but this guy doesn't lead us anywhere else after this, and he seemed pretty jazzed to get us into cleaning this spot. You think it's possible this is all Mort's trash and that he's the reason this spot is so crummy? You think he would trick his family into cleaning this mess? You think I'm putting too much thought into a game made for preschoolers while I'm in my 20s, applying my jaded real-world mind into this fictional world of talking cartoon dogs? We need to move on. One more rock stands in the way of the final destination and requires everyone to push in order to move it.
Or someone else was. Bingo. Holy shit, just was. I'm sorry, what was that?
No, we already got it. Whatever.
No,
Yeah.
push forward, push forward.
Sequence breaking, Bluey, how to. Okay.
We did it!
That was heavy. God.
We're great as a team. Go to the glowy spot and the cutscene begins of Bandit uncovering the box, and it's a doll. Bandit tells his story of how this was him and his brother's favorite toy, so much so that they would constantly fight over it. And when their dad threatened to take it away from them, the three of them came up with the reasonable conclusion and buried it in the creek for however many years. Fast forward and the family is looking to go to the beach to wrap up their holiday, but Bluey is noticeably down for some reason. She talks about how she's upset that they wasted all holiday looking for treasure that wasn't real treasure, lamenting on the lost time. Bandit opens up the sticker book used to track everything and shows her all the memories made during the holidays. Personal family time of Keepy Uppy, playing the floor is lava with Muffin, and the rock jumping adventure of the creek. Bandit explains that maybe it wasn't real treasure, but the memories and the journey are far more important. Ending with another look at the picture of her dad and his brothers, she realizes that even though it wasn't a valuable treasure, it is valuable enough to the three that they remembered and cherished the map pieces for all of those years. With a hug between the two and Bingo racing off to the beach, the game concludes with the family heading to the beach for one final memory of their holiday. The beach is just an open area to play games and find remaining collectibles, and there are a handful to find. Every level played in has 4 sets of 3 stickers to find: newspapers, leaf bugs, hockey sticks, and pavlova. They're rather easy to find since they sparkle and can often be seen from a distance, but I just wish there was more diversity in the types of stickers found. Something like having Muffin-specific items during her chapter, or something relating to camping during the creek level. As it stands, I'm sitting here wondering why somebody left an entire plate of pavlova at the head of a river. There are other things to get. These are often random items found in the world, ranging from favorite toys like Grey Dancer, Unicorse, and Heart Dog, to different sports balls and trampolines, but they all sparkle, so it's pretty easy to pick them out. They're all simple to get, except for this one on the beach, which I can't for the life of me figure out how to get. I eventually got it by getting on the shoulders of a parent and having them throw the kid up there, but that felt wrong.
Dad, can you help me reach the leaf bug up there? Sure, kid.
And it certainly didn't occur to me right away, but some might notice that the bottom row was never getting filled out. Remember the overlooked tutorial on watering plants? Well, the game actually wants you to be watering all different kinds of plants to fill out the sticker book. I didn't like this part. Not only is it a little tedious to refill the water every time it runs out, but the game doesn't stop you from watering a fully watered plant until you back away from it, forcing me to back up from every plant every time I give it water. That, and it's impossible to tell which plants you don't have based on the ungrown statuses, meaning you'll often find yourself watering a plant that's already been done. But after all that's done, the only thing left is getting stars for the hats, and to be honest, you will most naturally get all of the hats just by playing normally and collecting things. Once you get the last ward, you still get experience and progress for stuff, but the only thing you gain is prestige levels? Would it have been too much just to let the progress stop after the last hat? It's fine, really. Now we can all get empirical numbers for how much time we spent in the game.
I don't mean to brag or anything, but I'm prestige level 50 in Bluey the video game.
Why don't you ever visit?
Despite the conditions I played the game, forcing my friends to buffoon around in a kid's game, I had a lot of fun with this. The writing and the characters are still kind of there. It can't really be avoided. The presentation of the game is rather lacking, from the obvious bugs to the slightly janky puppet animation to the mismatched voice lines that can make certain vocal performances feel stunted and awkward. This game just doesn't feel like a lot of effort was put into it. And you may be saying, Ryan, it's a kid's game. Do you really expect them to get the right sounding lines from the kids?
Yeah.
Look, there are a metric ton of rushed kids games that capitalize on brand name recognition, and a lot of them are not what we call quality experiences. So let's put things in perspective and ask ourselves, did the game really ever have a chance of being something more than that?
Yeah!
Bluey is such a fun and heartfelt show despite all the labels that come with kids show. And while yes, it can fall into simply being a comfort watch to get away from the stresses of real life, the impacts and emotions that this show can make you feel are deep. I say with absolutely zero hyperbole that the best Bluey has to offer is nothing short of artistic masterpieces, proving that it's something you don't have to make concessions to enjoy. And that feeling is just not there with this game. Playing with my friends definitely carried the experience, but it can't hide how cheaply put together it all is. Even if there are some heartfelt moments and a funny line in this game.
It was.
Dad, I'm busting. Let's go.
In a minute, Muffy.
But I'm busting.
At the end of the day, it didn't hit the highs that the show does, but really, I felt that the expectations that were set were all my own, and the only thing that this game wanted to be was a video game that featured Bluey.
Overall, Bluey the video game is exactly what you expect it to be. The animations are weird, there are frequent bugs, and the voice work is unfortunately very obviously coupled together, using a combination of pre-existing voice lines and others that just don't quite sound right. One could argue that it was only ever going to be a low-effort product, but I felt that this show could put more care into it. From the subject matter, unique storytelling, and stellar performances in voice and music, Bluey to me goes far beyond the made-for-kids label, and is something that anybody could take away from. Now, am I asking too much of the game to make me feel at least somewhat the same way? Yes, but for God's sake, I thought they would record at least 2 voice lines for getting a sticker.
Wow, you got a sticker sport. Wow, you got a sticker sport. Wow, you got a sticker sport. That's awesome.
At the end of the day, it's harmless by itself and not exactly worth being upset over, but I can't shake the feeling that this could serve as someone's excuse to never give the show a shot based on what this is. Like I said, it's exactly what you think when you hear kids game adapted from a TV show. A cheap, cobbled-together patchwork featuring the character's likeness and very little more, when the show itself has so much more to offer.
Dude, it sounds like you're making an ad for the show.
I guess I don't have to be subtle then. Watch the f***ing show!